Every single day, millions of men around the world engage in one of the most common habits, masturbation. But here's the shocking part. According to top urologists, this daily release isn't as simple as most people think. Inside a walnut-sized gland called the prostate, surprising and sometimes strange changes are taking place. Some of these changes may protect you from disease, while others could put you at risk later in life. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what leading experts say happens to the prostate of men who masturbate daily. The prostate is one of the most misunderstood organs in the male body. Men rarely think about it until they face trouble urinating or hear the scary word, cancer. But urologists have been studying how our daily habits, including masturbation, directly affect prostate health. Over the years, countless studies and medical opinions have surfaced, some praising the benefits of frequent ejaculation, others warning about potential downsides. So let's take a deep dive into what top urologists really say happens when men masturbate every single day. Urologists often describe the prostate as a small but powerful factory, producing the fluid that nourishes and protects sperm. But what happens when that factory is forced to run every single day? If you don't release, the prostate can hold on to fluid for longer periods, which can stagnate. But if you release daily, you're constantly emptying the tank. Some experts compare this to flushing a system. It removes buildup, keeps things moving, and may reduce long-term risks. But they also warn that overuse may irritate the gland, especially as men get older. One of the most striking findings comes from a Harvard study. Urologists point out that men who ejaculated at least 21 times a month had a significantly lower risk of prostate cancer. The explanation? Frequent release helps flush out toxins and harmful compounds that could otherwise linger inside the gland. In simple terms, regular masturbation might act like a natural cleaning cycle for the prostate. According to prostate health specialists, ejaculation isn't just about fluid, it's about hormones. Every release triggers shifts in testosterone, prolactin, dopamine, and oxytocin. These changes, experts explain, can influence how the prostate grows and functions. For younger men, this hormonal balancing act may help keep the gland healthy and reduce inflammation. But here's where urologists also raise caution. Daily masturbation, especially when it becomes excessive, can put the prostate into a state of constant stimulation. Some men develop prostatitis, an inflammation of the gland that causes pelvic pain, urinary problems, and discomfort. Top doctors stress that while moderate, regular release is healthy, compulsive or multiple times daily habits may irritate the gland and worsen problems in men over 40 when the prostate naturally enlarges. In medical case discussions, urologists often share stories of patients who assumed daily release was harmless. One such case involved a man in his 40s who had followed the same daily habit since his 20s. As he aged, he started experiencing frequent nighttime urination and pelvic discomfort. Tests revealed his prostate was larger than average for his age. While masturbation wasn't the sole cause, genetics and diet play roles. The constant stimulation likely didn't help. The lesson experts stress: what works in your 20s may play out differently decades later. Another point experts highlight is how prostate health impacts relationships. Regular release, through masturbation or sex, has benefits: improved mood, better sleep, reduced stress, and even stronger immunity. But ignoring balance or overdoing it can create both physical and emotional challenges, affecting not just men but their partners too. Now, let's tackle some of the most common myths about daily masturbation and the prostate, because even today, so many men and women believe things that simply aren't true. Top urologists spend half their consultation time just clearing up these misconceptions. Let's break them down, one by one. Myth number 1. Daily masturbation causes infertility. This is one of the most common fears. But here's the truth: infertility usually has nothing to do with masturbation itself. Urologists explain that sperm are constantly being produced inside the testicles, and the body has a natural rhythm for replenishment. Daily ejaculation might reduce the volume of sperm temporarily, but it doesn't stop production. In fact, some fertility specialists even recommend regular release to keep sperm healthier and prevent DNA damage. So, infertility? Not caused by masturbation. Myth number 2. Frequent masturbation makes you weak or drains your energy. This idea comes from old cultural taboos, where losing semen was considered losing life force. Modern science tells a different story. After ejaculation, yes, some men feel a temporary dip in energy. That's because of hormonal shifts like a drop in dopamine and a rise in prolactin. But this fatigue is short-lived, not permanent. Urologists say the real risk isn't weakness, it's only when it becomes compulsive, leading to poor sleep or neglect of exercise, that a man might feel chronically drained. Myth number 3. Masturbation enlarges or shrinks the prostate. Here's where things get tricky. Top experts clarify. Masturbation itself does not change the size of your prostate. What influences prostate size is mostly age, hormones, and genetics. However, daily ejaculation does affect how the prostate behaves. It can reduce inflammation for some men by flushing it out, while in others, especially older men, it might make urinary symptoms more noticeable. But actual enlargement or shrinkage? That's a myth. Myth number 4. Masturbation is harmful after a certain age. Many older men quietly believe they should stop after 40 or 50. Urologists strongly disagree. They emphasize that sexual activity, whether alone or with a partner, remains healthy at any age, as long as it doesn't cause pain or interfere with normal life. In fact, regular ejaculation in older men may reduce the risk of prostate cancer and improve mood. The only caution experts give: if symptoms like pelvic pain, burning, or difficulty urinating appear, that's when medical advice is needed. Age itself is not a barrier. Myth number 5. Daily release causes erectile dysfunction. Another huge misconception. Experts confirm that erectile dysfunction is usually linked to blood vessel health, diabetes, stress, or lifestyle, not masturbation. In fact, moderate masturbation keeps the erectile tissues active and healthy. The only issue arises when a man becomes so used to one specific style of stimulation, like excessive use of pornography, that it rewires his brain's arousal pathways. That's not the prostate's fault, but the brain's adaptability. The solution? Balance, variety, and healthy habits. Myth number 6. Not masturbating at all is better for prostate health. Some men think abstinence is the healthier path, but studies show the opposite. Urologists highlight that regular ejaculation, whether through sex or masturbation, helps flush out toxins and lowers cancer risk. Long-term abstinence can sometimes lead to prostate congestion, discomfort, or even infections. The prostate was designed to be active, not to stay idle forever. Myth number 7. Masturbation causes urinary problems. Here's a subtle one. Some men do notice temporary burning or mild discomfort after frequent release. Experts explain this isn't damage, it's usually sensitivity of the urethra or temporary irritation. It passes with rest and hydration, but chronic urinary symptoms, like weak flow or urgency, are usually signs of a different condition, like an enlarged prostate or infection, not masturbation itself. Myth number 8. Partners should worry if men masturbate daily. This one is more emotional than medical. Many partners feel insecure, believing that if a man masturbates daily, it means he isn't satisfied. Urologists and sex therapists both emphasize this isn't true. Masturbation is often about stress relief or habit, not rejection. What matters is balance. If it starts replacing intimacy, that's when relationships can suffer. Otherwise, prostate health actually benefits from either method, with a partner or alone. So you see, when it comes to daily masturbation in the prostate, myths can do more harm than the act itself. Experts want men and their partners to know the real science, because living in fear or guilt only creates unnecessary stress. The prostate responds best to balance, good health habits, and regular checkups, not to myths and misinformation. So, what's the final word from top urologists? Daily masturbation can be both a blessing and a risk. It helps clean the prostate and lowers cancer risk, but if done excessively or without balance, it may irritate the gland, especially in older men. The key is moderation, a healthy lifestyle, and regular checkups. Remember, your prostate is small but plays a huge role in your health, fertility, and intimacy. If you found this breakdown valuable, don't just leave, subscribe to this channel.